Hello and good afternoon. So this is the Fife Property weekly market update. This is for week commencing the 10th to the 16th. Can you believe that we are nearly at the end of November? It feels like I was only just speaking about the October update, and here we are. It'll not be long until I'll be giving you the November one. As always with the show, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to comment, message us privately, pick up the phone. Obviously, we're more than happy to hear from you, answer any questions you may have. But this is the update. So let's start with the statistics. So this is what's gone on Rightmove, new instructed and also sold, subject to concluded missives with all agencies that use Rightmove. Then after that, we're going to look at what we as an agency specifically have sold last week, what we have, of course, coming soon, and what pre-portals to look out for, and what has completed with keys handed over and missives signed. Then we'll take a wee nosy at the shows that have been done so you can see what you want to go back and get information from. So that is what we're going to do today, but let's start with the statistics. Now, if you watch our shows regularly, you'll know obviously in the last couple of weeks I've been speaking about the million-dollar question: when is a good time to go to market? Do we need to wait until spring, summer? And as we continue to say, now is an ideal time to go to market because less properties are coming to market and getting instructed than we have seen obviously in the previous months. And the statistics that we continue to show weekly shows that exactly, that now is an ideal time to come to market because you will have less competition, but also properties are still selling. Now, you can kind of see there through the micro regions, and when I say micro regions, I mean all your different areas within Fife, from your KY15 Cooper to your KY8 Leavenmouth. You'll see kind of last week that we're kind of level in a lot of the micro regions. So Cooper, for example, 7 instructed with 6 sold. Same for East Neuk, 7 and 6. And actually for East Neuk, that is quite high numbers than what we normally see. It normally floats about the 3s, the 4s. So that is a slightly peaked for East Neuk last week. St Andrews, your 2 and your 4, that's kind of average for what we're seeing in the KY16 postcode just now, because there is quite a wee bit of stock in St Andrews. Leavenmouth holding strong as always with 11 instructed and 11 sold. We certainly sold a couple in the Leavenmouth area last week, and we will get to that, but we're still seeing a really positive effect from obviously the new commuting links and what that has opened up for people looking to move within the Leavenmouth area. So as I say, holding strong with your 11 and your 11. Dunfermline with your high numbers of 45 and 47. Obviously, I say high, they're high compared to the other micro regions, but for Dunfermline, they're really average. They are always a lot higher. Dunfermline, it is a more cost-effective postcode to move to if you do need to commute or work within Edinburgh, Queensferry, or further away. It's a great alternative living in Dunfermline, so we will always see higher numbers there. Glenrothes, your 13 and your 12. So again, kind of level playing field. Kirkcaldy, slight difference with your 25 and 20. Now, as we always say as well, if you're a regular for these shows, that does not include new builds. That is purely your core market, because the new builds isn't a true reflection because we can't compare them. It's not really like for like. But if you were to look at last week, the adjustment that was made for new builds, there was actually only 1 sold in the whole of the Fife area, and that was just in Dunfermline. So only 1, which is actually quite low. Obviously can't say that 1 week makes a trend, but it is really low for new builds to only have 1 sold. Especially in just 1 micro region as well. We normally do tend to see some in Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy, but for some reason last week there wasn't any. So that is the statistics. So you can see 110 instructed and 106 sold. So now is the time. So if you're sitting in any of those micro regions and you're thinking of selling, or you want to get an evaluation, then now is the time to go, because we are going to see less properties coming to market. So you are going to have less competition, and it's an ideal time as well, because people normally say, oh, but my garden's not in full bloom, or it's not looking its best. But there is things that you can do. You can still add touches of colour. You can still maybe get some kind of winter hard wearing kind of furniture to have sitting out to make it look its best. As well, think of it in a sense of, if you have got a buyer out there, they maybe want to be in your home for spring, summer, so they can take full advantage of the garden in the spring, summer months. So that means you need to go to market now. So you might think it's not the ideal time, but there's less competition. There's things that you can be doing to make your obviously home ideal. I did a pre-portal last week, and the fire was on, it was crackling in the background, it was so cozy, and you can just imagine yourself moving into that home, and it was just perfect. So there is obviously things that you can do to make your property stand out, but now is a good time to go to market. Obviously, as I said at the beginning, if you do have any questions, whether you want to comment here or message us privately, please feel free, and we can certainly get an agent to come out and see you, give you an up-to-date valuation, give you an idea of what the market is like in your specific area, and also answer any questions you have, because that is your dedicated time with an expert sitting in front of you to ask all the questions on what your journey looks like. If we then move on to what we did specifically, so what the Fife Properties agency did specifically for the 10th to the 16th, we'll of course start with the solds. So we have a couple in the Leavenmouth area, and obviously we normally always like to tell you a story, and of course there is a story, but what's interesting about all three of these properties that we're going to speak about is they're all actually upsizing the new buyers that are moving into the property. So they're all upsizing, which is great to see, because a lot of people obviously mindset think because of the mortgage rates, because of the cost of living, everybody's needing to downsize and cut their cloth accordingly, if you like. But all of these are actually upsizing. So it does just kind of flip that coin on the other side. And as I say, we'll give you a story for each one. So the first one being, so this was Coldstream Park in Leven. So this one was a 4-bedroom, 2-reception detached property. You can see there it's on an elevated plot. You've got your driveway, you've got front garden space, side and rear as well. Plus there was a conservatory at the back. Plus you can see that the window just on the gable end here, that is actually when we'd converted into the attic space. So there was a kind of spiral staircase and then there's a whole attic space. Be great if you need in a home office, study, making that your master with a kind of ensuite and dressing room. As well, we're on this elevated plot, but actually there was a tandem garage sitting under here and a further driveway. So there was so much to this property and a great family home while being in a quiet cul-de-sac as well. So that one was on for offers over 270. And as I say, the new owners are upsizing and they're getting a lot of property there. What's great as well is the sellers of this particular property have gone on to purchase something with ourselves. So it's been nice that we've been able to stay with the sellers of this property and stay with them throughout their whole journey, if you like, and we'll get them moved into their new home as well. So that's a lovely story for that one. Then our next sold, again at the Leavenmouth area, and again upsizing. So this was Law View in Leven. Now this is a 5-bedroom, 2-reception detached property, contemporary finish internally, a great family home, because as you can see, tucked away here, you've got that gated driveway, so completely private, really safe and secure, especially if you do have wee ones. So gated driveway, you've got that completely separate garage, and then your property's sitting in a prime position there on a great sized plot. And that was on for offers over 315. So the new owners will be able to move in and they literally don't need to do anything. Moving condition, contemporary, but a great family home. And of course, they are staying within the Leavenmouth area, which is great for this buyer as well. So they're still getting to take full advantage of everything that Leven has to offer, from its commuting links, the beachfront, all of its amenities. So that is just fantastic for that one. As I say, that was offers over 315. And our next sold, so moving to a different micro region, we're heading along to the East Nuke. So this was Milton Place in Pittenweem. So this one was a 4-bedroom, 4-reception detached period property. So a brilliant footprint of property. You were getting a lot of property for your money with this one. It was on for offers over 350,000. So as I say, 4-bed, 4-reception. In the garden space to the rear, you were getting a summer house with a bar. You were as well getting beautiful features with this one. Obviously, you can see it as a period property, but internally in the sitting room, it had this beautiful feature fireplace as well. So I do hope the new buyers kind of leave that in situ and work around it, if you like, and leave the original features, because it really does make it part of the home. Great location as well, obviously within Pittenweem, and they're just a short walk. They can be to the harbour, they can be obviously to all their amenities, short drive to Anstruther as well. So great location and an ideal family home. And again, as I say, the people are upsizing with this one, offers over 350,000. So that is the solds that we had for last week. different areas. But as I say, great to see that everybody's actually upsizing. So it's not all doom and gloom. Coming soon, what you have potentially been waiting for. So this is properties that we have signed up and will either have just done the pre-portals or be doing the pre-portals. Now, as I always say, if you watch this regularly, I'm going to apologise in advance that you have to obviously hear this again. But for those that may be new to our shows and maybe not obviously aware of what we do in terms of our digital marketing, is we do pre-portal videos. So it's a preview of the property and your prime opportunity. One, if you're in a position to proceed, and two, you can make our seller an offer that they just cannot refuse. Basically, you're no regrets, secure that property before it goes to the wider market. And when we say position to proceed, cash buyer, money in the bank, money good to go to make that offer. But it needs to be a good, strong offer that the seller's almost going to bite your hand off for. That's what we mean by pre-portal. So you watch that full in-depth video. It's a full walkthrough, shows everything in detail. At the end, it discusses location as well, if you may be from out with Fife and looking to obviously come and move to Fife. And then it discusses price point at the end. And again, it just clarifies what you need to do as the criteria to secure that property. Now, if you're wondering where you can watch these pre-portals, you need to go to your Facebook and you need to be following our pages. So if you're looking for a property in the East Neuk or St Andrews or Leven, Cooper, you need to be following the specific pages. There's one for each micro region. So whatever area you're looking to move into, go and follow that page. Look out for the pre-portals. That way you are not going to miss out. But when you see that, if that property ticks your boxes, that is when you need to comment, message, pick up the phone, get in touch with us. Obviously, we'll get you registered, get you qualified. But a pre-portal is for those people that are ready to proceed and can make an offer that the seller just cannot refuse. It is your ideal opportunity. Now, if you're sitting here and thinking, I'm maybe not a cash buyer, I'm not ready to proceed, then we obviously need to get you market ready. So have you had a property valuation, a bit like I just discussed a little bit early on? Have you had your property valued? Is your property even on the market? What steps have you taken to get market ready? That is where you need to obviously pick up the phone, give us a call, and we can get an expert out to you. We can get an agent to come out, value your property, and get you as market ready as you possibly can be. So that is obviously pre-portals and the story behind them. But to stop you waiting any longer, the coming soons that we have, so they are actually all in the East Neuk, which is interesting, especially when we just looked at the statistics. And obviously last week it was higher in the East Neuk as well. And that theme's obviously going to continue because all of our coming soons are in the East Neuk. Our first one is a commercial property. So this is, and if you didn't see my coming soon, I actually spoke about this, I believe it was Friday. I put it on the East Neuk page as a little sneak preview of where you would be situated. But this is on Shaw Street in Anstruther. It is a commercial premises, and what's great is we have a lot of knowledge about it because we actually sold it to the current sellers or that are going to be selling it. We sold it to them, so they purchased it from us. So we have a great history of the property. It's kind of been with us for a while now. So it's going to be coming to market again. It is a commercial premises, as I say, on Shaw Street. So ideal position. So you're getting all of that footfall, all of the traffic, prime location, whether you're looking to expand your business, move your business, start out, whatever obviously your business journey looks like, you're in a prime position with this premises because you are right on Shaw Street, and obviously all of the traffic, the footfall, everybody's going to see you. So prime location. So with this one, the pre-portal will be coming in the next couple of weeks. So do keep a lookout on the East Neuk page for that one. It'll be myself that's doing it. But to give you a slight insight, it's got shop floor space. You have kind of two shop front windows, shop floor space. Then to the rear, there's kind of a kitchen utility space and a small WC. Now there is the option as well. It is currently kind of kitted out with worktop space, refrigerators, kind of display cabinets. There is obviously the option if you are a business that's potentially going to benefit from that. If you can make our seller an offer that they cannot refuse, that equipment could be in there for you as well. So something to think about, but that will be coming in the coming weeks, and that is Shaw Street, Anstruther. We then have Tolbooth Wind in Crail. Now, we did actually sell and complete on a property not too long ago on Tolbooth Wind, and we've got another one coming for you. So if you missed out on this one, then this could be the one for you. It is a 3-bedroom end terrace property. Now, the pre-portal is actually getting done today for this one, so keep a lookout on the East Neuk page, and Perry should be uploading that later on, so you've not got long to wait. Now, this is obviously 3-bedroom end terrace, but also in a great location as well, obviously within Crail, so you're walking distance to the harbour, to your Fife coastal path. You obviously got the golf course as well, proximity to St Andrews, obviously further home of golf and other amenities if you need the St Andrews University. As well, Crail as well, you're in the catchment for the primary school, but also Wade Academy if you need obviously a high school. So it's a great location and an ideal family home. So really do keep a lookout for that one on the eSnoop page later today, especially if you missed out on the last one that we had. Our third coming soon, would you believe it, it's another commercial property. So we have another commercial premises. Now, Jim has already done the pre-portal for this one. It went live last week. So this is West Street, St Monan. So go back to the eSnoop page and look for Jim's pre-portal. So this is currently commercial premises. But what's great with this one and sets it apart from maybe other commercial premises is this one actually has planning permission to convert it into a 3-bedroom apartment, which has then a substantial kind of open plan kitchen living space. So it's an ideal opportunity to make use of that planning permission and make the perfect 3-bedroom apartment, especially because your planning's already in place. That part's already done for you. Great location as well, because obviously just walking distance to the harbour within St Monans, again, Fife Coastal Path, all of your amenities. So it's a great location and an ideal opportunity. So the pre-portal is already live for this one. So go back and find it. If there is something that you're interested, you need to act fast, because obviously somebody else could get in there before you. So this is your prime opportunity. If you're in a position to proceed and you can make our seller an offer that they just cannot refuse, then please do pick up the phone, comment. However you need to get in touch with us, please do it. But that's great to see. We've got a couple of commercial properties coming. Likewise, if you're listening to this and you have a commercial property and you maybe weren't aware that we valued them and sell them, or maybe you're just thinking of it, or maybe you just want an accurate valuation, more than happy to obviously come out. We deal with both residential and commercial, so pick up the phone for either. And again, one of our experts can come out and see you. As always, make sure you are following the pages for all of the pre-portals though. Finally, we have completed. So what did we complete on last week? Key standard over and missive signed. Now, as I always say, another story for you. So this was 8 Normand Road in Dysart. For those that maybe don't know, it's just on the outskirts of Kirkcaldy, so it's a great location because, again, if you work within Kirkcaldy, you want to commute from the Kirkcaldy train station. If you want to get to the A92, Dysart as well, it is a historic area. It's got the harbour as well. It's got a convenience store just along. You've got Dysart Primary School, so it is actually a great location. This particular property was a big footprint as well. It was the property that just kept giving. It's a 5-bedroom detached Victorian property. What was great about this one as well is it actually had in the basement, it was in kind of converted into a separate annex. So whether you wanted to have independent living space for perhaps teenagers, if you had elderly family with you, whether you had a business that you wanted to operate from home, whether obviously you maybe wanted to do short-term let options, you had all the potential there, but there was actually a separate annex below with its own kind of private entrance, could be accessed without needing to go through the property. But it was a great opportunity. The views as well from this one, so all the rear, the windows, you could see right across one, a clear day, you could see right across the Firth of Forth and beyond. So beautiful views, great opportunity as well as potential to add value because it's an ideal family home, and that's exactly what the new buyers were doing. So they were moving into the area, so they weren't from Fife, but they're moving to Fife while getting to take on this amazing project and make the perfect family home. What's great with this one as well is this was previously listed with another agent, contacted ourselves, and they moved over to ourselves, changed agency, and we were able to get it sold for them. So that was on for offers over 300, and that sold for 330,000. So brilliant price point for obviously a great family home, and as I say, the location is ideal. But it was great that obviously they were able to come to us and we were able to get it sold for them. So that is what we completed on. So that was a roundup of what we did in Fife Properties last week. In terms of what we did in shows, as always, it's a Monday, of course, 12:30. Richard and Jim did the wealth creation show. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. Or alternatively, you can just obviously click the link and obviously read it if you prefer. But this week's wealth creation show was on the psychology of money. So we all do some expected things with money. We're only human, mainly because this whole game is still somewhat new to us. What might look like a bit zany to you could totally make sense to me. We all make decisions that are influenced by our unique experience and that seem perfectly logical to us, maybe in that moment. Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you actually behave. And our behavior is hard to teach. Are you struggling to manage your finances or simply looking for a better understanding of how money works and how it could work for you? Well, as I always say, you don't need to go back and read books or head to the internet or head back to school, because luckily you have lettings director Richard Cook and one of the UK's most successful property investors, Jim Parker, on hand discussing, talking it in depth. And as always, comment and they will answer any questions you have. So that was a wealth creation show. As I say, that was on at 12:30. So if you did miss it, do go back because that's a really interesting one. And then another show that was done was Bare Walls. So are you bored with bare walls? Bring blank spaces to life with these expert design tips. So everyone has walls, of course, but choosing how to style them can be a tricky task. Too much blank space can feel cold, unfinished, slightly clinical maybe, while too much going on can look cluttered, confusing, and kind of take the attention away from maybe other features in the property itself. Again, Jim Parker and Richard Cook provide their professional opinion, hints, and tips to help you style your home. Again, you can go back and watch that one or click the link and read it if you prefer. So that's the shows that were done. That's obviously what we've got coming soon, what we've sold to give you an idea. The statistics that's happening in Fife for the last week, but that has been the show. Obviously, until next week, I hope you have an amazing week. Can you believe that obviously next week it'll be our last November update and then we're into December. But have an amazing week and take care. Bye for now.